and knockouts, you have to have skill behind that. So for me to put Maidana and McGregor together, I would have had to have seen McGregor fought Maidana or fought somebody in the boxing ring to maybe to give you is to say that it's all right to judge him against a professional boxer already. For the simple fact that this guy has never been a professional boxer, I can't compare him to any boxer. You can say the game plan fits, but when you watch what Conor McGregor is doing, his feet work is ugly, you guys. He's crossing his feet. He's squared up. I don't, like you said, Bobby, he might be keeping stuff close to the vest, and maybe he's not giving anything out to the media because he wants to surprise Floyd in there. Not doing a great job of selling tickets this way, but hey, maybe it gives him a better chance of winning. I don't know. But there's way too much going on in the ring. I'm telling you, all the movement, he's in a 12-round fight here. And what I told Lee last week, he's in the biggest fight of his career. This is the biggest environment he's ever been in. Nerves are going to be a factor. And if you're jumping around for the first 4 rounds, you're wasting energy. When this fight starts getting late and Floyd doesn't miss, his punches aren't going to miss. I don't see Conor. It's not going to go
all right,
long.
Let me do my referee-like stance. Good combination, by the way, Andrew. So at this point, for those of you who are keeping score at home, I see validity to both sides. What currently Bobby's saying is if this thing goes late at all, it's a Floyd fight, period. There's no question about where this goes if it's a late fight. If Conor can dictate and set pace early on, it's a Conor fight. All right. I'm just keeping score on both of this. You guys are doing both exceptional jobs on selling it. So far, I'm still going to the Grand Prix over at the Convention Center on the 26th, Bobby. So far, you have not gotten me off the BJJ
And Bobby,
Grand Prix.
let me tell you, I don't know if you've ever heard me say this, but I believe this fight is a setup for the rematch. I've been telling Lee this since before anyone ever believed this fight was even going to get made. I always thought that the UFC's best game plan here was to tell Conor to offer up his services to Floyd in the ring, get Floyd that paycheck, see what the waters are, test him. Let's see how much money we can generate. And then if the offer's good enough, they're going to throw a real big offer at Floyd for one more fight in the octagon. Now, I don't know if Floyd's going to take her or not, but I know Floyd has an ego. And I know if all of you UFC fans, if everyone starts getting at Floyd and calling him a puss for not taking on McGregor in the cage when McGregor fought him in the ring where everyone knew he had a disadvantage, I don't know. I don't know, Bobby. I think Floyd is possibly looking at that octagon money. How do you feel about that?
100%. I think that's definitely something that's in the cards. Dana White is a shrewd businessman. We all know that. Dana White King is a very shrewd businessman. And with the new money that is backing UFC now, we're not talking about the Fertittas anymore. We're talking about a conglomerate of guys that threw up $4.4 billion like me or you go buy some tickets to a concert. Right. So these dudes have the dough. If this fight can generate the proper amount of money, and if Conor has a decent showing, look, the guy's a winner no matter what. However this fight ends, the guy's a winner when he walks out of that ring. Let's be clear here. This guy's getting the fattest payday of all time. He's going in there. He's going to test himself against the greatest boxer of all time in a sport that's not even his number one sport. It's like being a Spanish speaker and going to take an English test. Yeah, no, I think it definitely could be, bro. Look, here's the thing.
That's why I believe he's so excited in the ring. They need to tell him to relax. You know, everything's working. It's all working to plan. They just relax, go in there and throw your punches with Floyd. But right after, say, all right, now you fight me in the octagon. Be a man. I was a man tonight. Now you be a man.
I think if they did something like that, just like with this fight, I was really hoping what they would do with the undercard is I was hoping they'd have an octagon at the arena as well and have a couple of MMA fights as well as a couple of boxing fights. So there's a little something for everybody like Pride used to do. But I digress with that statement. Anyway, I think that it would be really great for both sports. Look, let's be honest, man. We all know that I'm a huge boxing fan as well. I watch every boxing match. I like, pugilism in general. Any kind of fighting sport, I'm watching it. It doesn't matter. Two, drunk guys out in the street, I'm trying to get a bet in on who's going to win the scrap. So, when it comes down to, it's not really even, for me, it's not even, I have to defend Conor McGregor because I don't even care about any of that nonsense. For me, it just comes down to I just think that the stars are aligning for this kid right now. And, crazy stuff has happened, man. Nobody thought Buster Douglas was going to knock Tyson out. Nobody thought Verdum was going to submit Fedor. I had the same kind of conversation when I put my bet in on Fedor, on Verdum in that fight. Everybody was telling me how crazy I was. I see guys in the handicapping room. I mean, it's insane. Look, and I'm not saying – don't get me wrong. I'm not saying by any means this is a sure bet or run down and put up your mortgage on it. What I am saying, though, is I definitely see a clear path to victory here. And like you said, it's obviously a Floyd event. This is Vegas. And if Conor can't finish Floyd, forget it. There's no way he's going to – not because of the judges. Floyd will win the fight, but there's no way you'd ever win a decision against Floyd Mayweather.
Right. And I tell you this. The stars are aligning for McGregor, win or lose.
You're
McGregor,
right. He's a winner, man.
All he has to do is look good. We all know he's not supposed to win this thing, and this is why I was always for the UFC taking this fight. I always told you they got to look at this. It's the money they're going to make and the fans that they possibly get to cross over if McGregor does look decent against the best boxer in the world, and then if they can flip it. If they can flip this thing and get Floyd to actually sign the rematch for the Octagon, I'll give you guys an example of why Floyd would do this. I've told you already, one, it wouldn't affect his boxing record. The 50-0, that stays. So Floyd doesn't have to worry about that. Two, the money, all right? They're going to offer him up there to $250 guaranteed $1 million. That's before ticket sales and pay-per-view sales. And number three, Muhammad Ali did it. See, everyone likes to use the Muhammad Ali crossover fight whenever we try to get a MMA boxing match, but we never hold it against Muhammad Ali. You've never heard anyone say, well, Muhammad Ali was a good boxer, but, he did fight that one Japanese fighter, and that dude kind of just kicked him in his leg until he couldn't fight anymore. No one ever says that. So I think Floyd has all of these in his corner when he's looking at that possible $250 million paycheck.
For sure. This fight gets him right with all of his bills and puts a little bit of, scratchol in his pocket. And then the next one, like you say, well, that puts him back to the, 16 more Bentleys and whatever the heck else the guy decides he wants to do with his money,
Yep.
And it really, at the end of the day, we all know, all three of us know, it comes down to it's entertainment. It comes down to its entertainment and what the fans want to see. Hardcore fans like us, we want to see the best fighters in the world fight. We want number one and number two in boxing to fight. And if this was just about anybody else, I wouldn't really have too much interest in it. But Conor McGregor is the kind of guy, like you're talking about Muhammad Ali. This guy, he sells fights with his yap, and then he goes out there and handles business in the octagon. I mean, you can say what you want about the guy. He went in there and he stood toe-to-toe with Nate Diaz, who's a bigger guy, who's, sparred with Andre Ward, 12 times? These guys, they spar together. Nate Diaz has hands. He's not, Floyd Mayweather, obviously. But it's not like this, this kid's never been in there with anybody that knows how to box. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
the light heavyweight.
Absolutely. Look, this kid it's going to be a fun night no matter what happens. I know I'm watching it. Look, at the end of the day, I spend $100 at Boulder Station, putting in a couple of parlays and then throwing something in a damn slot machine. There's going to be a whole day worth of entertainment to sit around with your family, your friends, watch the fights. And you could still buy the Canelo and Golovkin fight. Another $70-$80 ain't going to kill you.
I'm still going to the Grand Prix at the Convention Center. Sorry. You haven't gotten me out the World Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Grand Prix with although Roger Gracie did retire, it kind of takes the steam out of it, but I digress. All right.
Don't worry, Bobby. When they go to the cage, I'm going to be sounding like you. This will be vice versa when they go to the cage.
But that's the point of the debate. And look, I still think that the money's in the DQ. I still think that the best move by far, and you know me, I'm a showman first, forget about the athletics. Look, go and put in a couple of rounds, make it tight, say he gets frustrated, and throw a knee and call it a day.
For McGregor,
he gets paid.
Lee, for McGregor, it's a great way to end this. If things are going bad,
it's a sports center.
Because he can always say, "I am sorry, but that's how I fight, and it happened naturally. I didn't mean to do the backspin, right? I didn't mean it. Just came." And his fans will cheer. They will say, "Sorry, dude, we fight for real, man. Sorry." Hey, I'm telling you, for Floyd. Listen, if Floyd has any idea of stepping into that octagon, he must humble Conor McGregor in 2 weeks, you guys. He must. It must be heavy. It must be early. He must put doubt into McGregor's head going into the cage. I don't see Floyd toying with this guy. If Floyd has any ideas of crossing over for this big paycheck, what I think the UFC is about to offer him for one night, if he has any idea of doing that, he must humble McGregor. He must. I'm thinking early. I'm thinking heavy. I'm thinking knockout, Lee. Swear to God.
So you think that this is just literally a replay of what's the English dude's name? Why am I having a problem
Ricky
with
Hatton.
Ricky Hatton. You think this
Hatton.
is a Ricky Hatton replay?
I remember when Hatton came. Now, look, I'm going to agree with Bobby about the size difference. He is fighting a much bigger man.
McGregor's huge.
McGregor's huge. McGregor's fought in bigger guys. When he's talking about Nate Diaz being 170, he's not lying. He is sparring with the light heavyweight king. You got to give McGregor some credit for fighting big men like that. I don't think Floyd would ever step in the ring with a guy that could fight Andre Ward. He won't even go to middleweight. We know that, Lee. He don't want Golovkin talking about adding on another 10 pounds on top of that. No way. So McGregor has fought in bigger men. For me, this is more just about they're so far apart technically in the boxing ring. What the boxing ring allows you to do, Floyd is an expert at it. McGregor isn't. He's an expert at being an MMA fighter, an all-around guy. You know, he'd throw kicks, elbows, do all he wants to do. In this, Floyd doesn't have to worry about that. Floyd's only watching for two hands, the same two hands he's been seeing his whole life, and these ones are coming a lot slower. Now, I will say the unorthodox punches could play into effect where that's why, Lee, this is why I said they need to stop with he's not even going to touch Floyd Mayweather. That's BS. The guy's 28 years old. He's an athlete, and he's one of the best at what he does. He's going to touch Floyd, and what Bobby said about the unorthodox punches is another reason why he's going to touch Floyd. So that goes back into the puncher's chance thing, but Floyd, come on. Everybody he's fought has had the puncher's chance. I don't know how many times I've said that in Floyd's career. Then it's a 12-0 shutout.
Okay, Andrew. Okay.
Ahead,
Let's go with this. Let's go with Bobby's analysis that this is straight up Rocky 1, and his eye is not on the prize, and Floyd is just strictly about getting paid. Like he's barely put any backbone and training into this, and he's not taking this seriously because let's face it, he is the greatest of all time. He is the GOAT.
The 24/7 shows, or what are they called on Showtime? I'm sorry, Showtime, but whatever those ones are called, full access.
Full access.
Yeah, it sure does look that way, right? Floyd's hanging out with kids. You know, the kid came to visit him this last time. He's partying. He's at the club. They just had a picture of him at the pool. You guys, have we ever seen Floyd at a Las Vegas pool 3 weeks out of a fight?
No.
I haven't.
I haven't either.
And go ahead.
You know, what else is kind of crazy, too, is I usually get some invites. You know, I'll get some text messages to come to some of those workouts, you know, for the last, 5 or 6 Floyd fights ever since I got into the sportsbook industry. And those text messages aren't coming as fast and fluid as they used to come, my friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So he doesn't take
that's one thing that's one thing I wanted to bring up, too, Lee, though. You know, in the fight game, you know, age is a factor. This is a 40-year-old man coming off a 2-year layoff. When he gets cracked by this 28-year-old monster, you know, how's he going to react? You know, Floyd has said it himself. This is it's enough for me. I can't take these camps anymore. You know, I don't want to, this isn't what I want to do, basically, is what he was saying in the interview. So to me, that's, a young kid with a chip on his shoulder. I don't give a fuck attitude. The worst that's going to happen to me is I'm going to lose this fight. I'm going to cash my money and go to the bank laughing the whole way there. But he's going in there to win this fight.
And he still wins. Because right after the fight, he's going to challenge him. Now, most people are going to think Floyd's going to deny the challenge, right? That's what everyone's thinking here. He's not going to go to the cage. Well, fuck, McGregor wins then. He punked him. He's going to punk you on the same pay-per-view you sell $5 million to. Right after the fight, Bobby. If I'm the UFC, I have the contract there.
What? Oh, absolutely.
Floyd? It's in your face.
I hop in the ring with Paul Heyman like it's a WWE event.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Dana White stands there. I am the advocate for. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Whatever he has to do.
This thing can blow up.